What did I say? Oppa Gundam style. I almost just said the actual thing. Oppa Gangnam style, everyone.
Oppa Gomper style.
Oppa Gomper style. Welcome to the podcast about Fun Point, a podcast within a podcast. It's time for your weekly dose of Gundam. If you can't tell, we're in good spirits this week because it seems that we're experiencing less of pain in the show.
Less trauma.
Which is a good sign. Less trauma. Still trauma, but less of it.
Babe, it's time for your Gundam disc.
Babe, it's 12 p.m. on a Sunday. It's time to play. It's time to get on Mr. Tomino's Wild Ride.
Okay.
Yes, honey.
Yes, honey. That's what it is. That's yes, honey.
Yeah. We should make that meme. Someone will do it in the Discord. How are you doing this week, Morg? How are these episodes for you?
These episodes fine. This week, but these episodes are fine.
Yeah, that's about right. It was a week, but every week I have my Gundam episodes to look forward to, like a nice warm cup of hot cocoa on a cold winter's day.
So when this comes out next week, everyone in the Discord should ask me how far I am on packing, because I have not been packing like I should be.
Yeah, everyone in a week from now when this comes out, just say, hey, Morg, finish with those packing?
I mean, I'm not going to finish because I'm packing to, like, move home. But to even get, like, a good start on it.
That's the thing. It's like literally everything in life. The hardest step is always the first. Once you, like, start moving things to pack, it's like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then you just keep on doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm doing it, like, starting so early, because I have a habit of waiting till the last day. Like the day before. So I'm like, well, if I do it in small amounts, it'll be fine.
I feel like you and I both have big executive dysfunction energy. Big procrastination up in here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm looking at all the cans around me. I'm looking at the disaster that is my room. Big executive dysfunction. Big
executive dysfunction. Big Gundam. This week, we talked about episodes 22 through 25 of Gundam 0079, aka Mobile Suit Gundam. No, 21. 22 through 24. So, episode 22, The Trap of Makuve. How's this one go?
Makuve's trick.
Makuve's trick. Oh! I think this one starts out, Amuro is blowing up yet another mine. He's just, like, fighting Goose regular now. It's sort of like how in Dark Souls, you end up fighting, like, Taurus demons as regular enemies in late game. It's like a boss originally, but then, like, as you progress and get stronger, you just fight them like normal.
Well, that's because later there's going to be, like, a new, like...
a new tier.
New tier of robot. So they're like, okay, well, the goofs are the foot soldiers now.
Right. I like them, though. The shade of blue they use is very appealing.
It's a nice shade. Their scary heat rod tentacle is a good weapon, even though I just made it worse.
Yeah, it's like it's a thick whip, is what it is. Which, as I'm saying it, doesn't really make it sound better either.
Yeah, that's why I made that, like, okay.
There's no way around it, folks.
Thick
but goof good whip. Yeah, it's not Cool Whip, it's Hot Whip.
Just like a puddle of Cool Whip. That's what Hot Whip is.
Delightful. Slurp it up. So, a goof sort of gets away, and Amuro's like, Bright won't be happy about this. Cut to Bright, who's, like, on the brink of death.
Yeah, I mean, Bright won't even know, so it's fine, because he is too busy passing out.
He's Jordan Peele sweating like crazy right now.
Yeah, he is. I was like, I did not take, like, that many notes for the first episode for some reason, but one of them is just, Bright is not okay. LOL.
Yeah, Gerard Way voice. He's not okay. Um,
Okay.
yeah, we do see Amuro's getting more brutal in combat because he like the goof cuts Amuro's RPG and his shield in half, but Amuro like runs the goof through with his saber. Like
Yes.
the not to keep harping on it, but the boy ain't right.
He's fine.
He's fine.
He'll be fine.
But yeah, another successful battle. Wahoo! And then Bright beefs it on the bridge.
He just falls. Rest in peace.
He does the Peter Griffin fall, where it's just like it's just 2 frames, just like thump on the floor.
This is the one death of the episode.
Yeah. Wah, wah, wah.
No, it's not.
Too
You
bad,
would
so
be
sad.
a lot more upset if Bright was...
Oh god, I would like refuse to record if Bright died in like the first 2 minutes of the episode. I'm not doing it this week. Get someone else. This blonde guy named Job carries him off, and I think Job is the guy who was in the gun cannon the gun tank last episode. So he's like a third tier cast member.
Yeah, he has a name now, which is nice. He's kind of a backup pilot, I guess. He's the cool... You talked about... You were like, oh, cool blonde guy. I remember this.
Yeah, but unfortunately, him being a character who's named is like ruining your theory that every blonde person is important, because he's just a guy.
Was that my theory? I don't even remember.
You said because the only blonde people we saw were Sayla and Char.
Oh, because I was talking about myself and you also. And why
right. So yeah, now I'm confirmed as Job. Well, no, there's a character named Maximilian and a character who looks at me, but it's not named Maximilian. So there's, which means we can posit that there's a character named Morg on White Base, and there's also a character that looks like you, but does not have the name of Morg. Only time will tell if this theory will be proven correct.
It'd be cool if they since they go to Belfast at some point, if they met a Morgan. Morgan's probably more British, but whatever. It's kind of a...
It's a UK name, I believe.
It's a UK name.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll come across a Morgan there.
Yeah, only time will tell. We cut to Makuve, he's saying that this Elran guy, Elron Hubbard, doesn't give him any useful information.
If it was L. Ron Hubbard, you would know immediately that he was fucking betraying you. Holy
yeah,
shit.
God. Yeah, I looking at the name, it would have been pronounced Elron, Edudan. But you choose him out. You choose out a subordinate for some of his mining bases being destroyed.
Yeah.
And there's this other guy, Judok, and he's like, tell Elron to go slow down White Base.
Is it really pronounced Judok?
Judaku? I think so.
It's so close to Judas, dude.
Whoa. Well, I'm thinking about it.
I did not even realize that.
But yeah, as he leaves, he says, your Federation collar is showing.
Yeah. He's betray. There's some shenanigans going on in the Federation right now.
Mm-hmm. See, here's the thing. With my incredible powers of observation, at first I thought he was chastising this guy for not having a proper uniform, saying oh, the Federation doesn't wear their uniforms right, and they have ruffled collars and all that, and
that
you're saying your Federation.
Own.
I thought he was doing some sort of idiomatic dig at the guy, not saying, hey, your other uniform is showing, but no, I believe it is rather literal in this case.
I mean, you find it out later that it is, but that would have been a funny own. It's just wow, something smells like Federation in here.
Yeah, bro, you look like the bad guys. Haha, you suck. Get out of my office. I'm gonna go play with my mobile suits now.
I'm gonna go play with my gunpla.
My gun freedom plastic. What happens next? Oh yeah, then we get that weird little shower scene.
Oh, yeah. I was like, why is being stinky, a plot point? It's not, but also it is.
So here's the thing. This is the direct answer to the whole, when you play a video game, when do the characters shit? When you take a shower? It's it's them basically saying it happens. You don't need to see it, but obviously it happens. Things, you have object permanence as a viewer of a TV show. Obviously you have to extrapolate. Ugh. It's just saying like, yeah, you boys are stinky. You gotta clean yourself.
But before that, yeah, like the actual shower scene is just like they're just fucking Fraubo is watching the children. That's it. That's
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
happens.
That's all that happens. Like, I mean, no, I don't want to talk about it. It's weird.
It's kind of weird. Yeah.
And you'll have to watch the show to find out because we actually aren't going to talk about it. Moving on. um, Amuro's working on Gundam. He tells Hayato, he's like, bring me a part or whatever. And Hayato checks the snap-on big crate, and he's like, oh, we don't have the 10 size part that everyone misses when they do work on cars. This is a real thing. I'm not goofing.
Oh, okay. I was like, I mean, you know more about cars, so.
Yeah, I forget what exactly, like how many millimeters it is, but it's like the most common part to go missing when you work on a car. But they have to like run off to find Bright. And then this is when Frau says, you boys stink, put some Axe body spray on. And they say, no, too busy killing to shower.
Too busy to be clean. Even though, like, food's important, hygiene isn't. It's fine.
It's like, well, here's the thing. You can eat a chili dog while you pilot the Gundam, but you can't shower while you pilot the Gundam.
True, true. Actually, I think it would be really hard to eat and pilot a Gundam.
I think, well, okay, it depends on the kind of food. First of all, anything that requires a utensil, that's out. Like, no way.
Yeah,
like,
no way.
A burrito, a sandwich, like, yes, anything that involves, like, a sort of barrier between you and the messy food that you can hold in your hand, you could probably do that.
But you need both your hands to pilot the Gundam.
Yeah.
It's not a steering wheel where you only, like, where it's like, oh, you should have two hands, but you only really need one, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably unsafe, but Amuro doesn't anyway, because he's, like, definitely cocky in the Gundam. I like to think he wears one of those, like, funny soda hats so he can drink while piloting the Gundam. Like, he just takes a big, he takes a big sippy of his Mountain Dew Baja Blast inside the Gundam from his cool hat.
He has, a burrito in one hand, a drink in the other, and pilots it with his feet.
He has, it's like his knees up on the steering wheel or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna crash that Gundam one day. So they learn that Bright's in the infirmary. Amuro sort of like, and they learn that Mirai's with him, because, like, I feel like it's kind of clear that Mirai has the hots for Bright at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's very concerned about him.
Yeah, Amuro goes to the bridge.
Beyond anyone else.
Yeah, he goes to the bridge. He's like, asks about the part or whatever. He doesn't really like, he just sort of leaves. I think, I don't know what the scene was trying to convey, but he walks in, he like just sort of trails off before he can like get any information. I think maybe, I don't know. My take is that he walked into the infirmary. He sees like Mirai fawning over Bright, and he's like, oh, I'm the third wheel, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was that, or if it was, he walked in thinking like maybe Bright wasn't as bad off as he thought, or something like, oh, maybe he's still like conscious enough to tell me stuff. But it's like, oh, he's worse off than I thought. But yeah, I feel like
this dude is sick.
Yours might make more sense with like the characterization of Mirai.
Mm-hmm.
Either way.
And also the age, right? If you're 15, you don't want to be a third wheel.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like mad awkward. That's just high school days.
Yeah. It's just funny because then he like backs out, and then he goes back to talk to Hayato. Is like, did you get that part? And he's like, no. No, I didn't. It's fine.
Nah, bro, they're like making out in there. It's really awkward. I gotta do my math homework.
God.
I gotta do my geometry homework for Mr. Nazca. I'm not gonna walk in. My friends are making out, and they're like right next to my locker, so I can't get anything out of it because it'd be weird.
Oh.
Can't ask them to move.
Is a nerd.
I'm just starting to talk about my high school days now, huh?
Yeah, I was like, this sounds familiar to you.
Yeah. Max, you're talking with a alarming amount of detail here. So the next thing we get, this is when the Zeon dudes are hanging out in the desert.
Yeah, because they like talk about how they're like all in plastic because they're not being like read by the sensors with like metal on them. Like, they very much make a point of it. To be like, yes, even my watch is plastic. Because they're all like planning to like attach stuff to white base to like blow it up, and they're successful.
Yeah, they super do it. It's like very quiet. It's like they're good at communicating. They plant bombs all over. When they blow it up, we learned that they blow up only the Minovsky detectors and the ECM transmitters. Their radar is fine.
They plant the bombs everywhere, and then they do the YMCA to each other to signal that they're okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it fucking looks like.
They do the Macarena at each other to say detonate the bombs.
Yeah, they like purposely like leave on the radar. Like everyone in White Base thinks like maybe it was an accident, maybe it was on purpose. We don't know why they would have left it to us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's oh god, okay.
You made me yawn. Oh my god.
Oh no. Oh no. It's contagious. Yeah, they did it on purpose because Mukube's like, I want them to use the radar to overthink things.
And like,
my trap.
good plan.
Yeah, it works.
And it works. I mean, it only works because Bright's not at the bridge. I feel like Bright's a good enough commander that he can like figure out that.
Yeah, that's true. Like he's been doing it long enough.
Right. The stars have aligned because Mirai is like essentially the acting commander now.
Yeah,
and she puts everyone on alert.
She seems to be like kind of panicked about it. Like also, which like helps make the everything fall into place because she can't keep a cool head.
Yeah, like 20 dops are flying in. She when she calls out to get in the core fighter, she does Amuro and Ryu at first, and I was like, my bones.
Yeah.
And then she's like, Hayato and Amuro. It's like, God, this whole episode is like, damn, wish Ryu was here.
I mean, these 2 episodes are kind of like,
yeah,
damn, wish Ryu was here. But
they're like sort of questioning our orders, right? Because there's so many dops, and the core fighters can't really do anything about it. Like, there's just too many for them to fight. And it's like, it's clear that she can't command units as well as Bright can. Bright wants to get up to the bridge, but he can't. He's like calling out for Ryu in his mind to like help him. And then she sort of she's like, okay, whatever, forget the plans. She has Amuro do a midair transfer during the battle.
Yes, that's right. And then Hayato like goes on White Base to do it, and
yeah, because he can't do it in midair. They're like, this is a bad plan, but okay.
Yeah. No, I don't know how I forgot about that part where he's like, Bright's just like panicking about Ryu.
Yeah, it sucks. And like as they're fighting, they see Makuve's ship on the horizon. And this is when Makuve's trick happens, where he tells his bridge crew, he's like, I let them keep the radar, so they'll analyze the situation, fall into a trap of their own making. Ah, haha. And then like at this point, some goofs appear. I still read it as goofs in my head.
I do too.
Goofs appear. Amuro and Hayato got to fight them. They do this amazing tag team attack, though. Hayato's in gun cannon, and the goofs are attacking. And Hayato like chucks there's 2 goofs and then Gundam and gun cannon. Hayato chucks a boulder up in the air, and like the boulder's like going to land on the goof, so they shoot it apart. And like as the boulder breaks after they shoot it, Amuro's behind it in Gundam, and he just like bops him.
Oh, okay, yeah. For some reason, I was picturing like a different episode where like Amuro like
there is a tag team attack in the 3rd one.
Leaps on one of the
that
robots.
Too, yeah. They're getting good with teamwork.
Yeah.
I think, but yeah, he like kills one of the goofs, and the other one he like tears apart literally. And this is when the funny little comedy bit happens with the goof pilot freaking out.
Yeah, where I was like, "That's my hero." He like wigs out, and he like he does a fucking like good face. Like whoever animated it was having a good time, and he like sneaks out of the goof and like scoots his butt down the leg and stuff. Like he's just like scrambling away.
It's animated very, very, very comedy. I like it.
It's
It's cute.
very, yeah, it's very comedic. It's definitely just like you'd have to like watch it compared to like the other animation of people.
Hmm.
It's like very
Yeah.
like fast comedy kind of stuff.
Yeah. I like it.
Me too.
I think at this point they have no ammo left. They got to return to white base. And Mirai doesn't really want to run, but she like has no choice essentially because they can't really fight back right now.
Yeah.
I think this is when they like are ordered to go back out like right away.
Yeah, because Sayla like kind of makes her be like, "Oh, all you can think about is running or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
And Mirai's like, okay, I guess I gotta send them back out." Or something like that. I don't remember which of
Yeah,
them
it's like
orders.
guess I'll die.
I don't remember which of them like orders them to go back out,
Mm-hmm.
but they do.
Yeah, they do. But at this point, they've like completely fallen into the trap because Makuve has set up a mega particle cannon. And like they're flying. The Dops sort of hang back, and like Sayla realizes this, but it's too late because White Base gets completely owned by this thing. It like blasts a hole through it, and like the whole thing is on fire. All the engines are failing.
Yeah,
Amuro like has to destroy it, but White Base is like totally grounded.
yeah. White base gets fucked. Doesn't Amuro
Yeah.
almost like get obliterated?
I don't know if he does, but he's like, I think he's fine because he's like hanging out like on the side of White Base, like crouched down. He like blows up the cannon.
Oh, not in Gundam. I mean, before he gets back in Gundam.
Oh, I think that might be the next episode
Oh, okay. No,
because I didn't know. Yeah, that's next episode because he definitely does like almost die. Um,
okay.
yeah, but they're forced to land. The Dops are coming back, so they hatch a scheme to basically like blow up all their smoke bombs with the safety off to like basically make it seem like there's just like dead smoke billowing out of White Base and it can't fly at all.
They don't actually end up showing that. Like, do they not end up doing that?
No, they do. You see the smoke coming out of White Base. You don't see them like doing
You
the
don't see
smoke bombs
them setting
themselves
it
though.
off, right? That's what I thought. Like, I
They
was like, you see the smoke, but like, you just see like, because what ends up happening is like, one of the operators suggests that, and because Mira is just like sitting on the ground at this point,
Yeah, she's not doing good.
and she is just like kind of like, I don't know what to do. And Sayla's like, okay, well, I'll leave it up to you whether we do the smoke bomb stuff. But Mirai doesn't say anything. So that's why I wasn't sure. I was like, I think they set them off, but they don't actually like show it. So
Yeah, it just happens. You sort of like have to
right, and normally I
extrapolate.
would have just been like, oh yeah, that's what happened. I think I was questioning it since Sayla was like,
Hmm.
hey, let's wait for Mirai to say something, and
Yeah,
she didn't. So I was like, did
yeah.
they end up doing it? I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, and the episode sort of ends with like Mirai like just like sort of collapsed, like calling out for Bright and Ryu, and all they can really do is like call General Revel and ask for help because they're just totally screwed.
They're just totally screwed.
Yep.
They're yeah, they're kind of sitting ducks, and that's where we leave them for the next episode, which is called Matilda's Rescue.
It is. Oh god. So this episode starts. They're repairing the ship. Like they're just like all like walking around outside. There's like soldiers goofing off playing cards. Mirai's walking around and like she keeps on seeing paper airplanes being thrown.
Yeah, it's Kai, we find out, like making
Of course it's
airplanes
Kai.
from like everyone else is just like looking to fix White Base, and Kai's just like standing around with like some goggles on his head, not doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like everyone's like, we're gonna call you a coward if you don't fucking help.
It's like he's like pretending he's like, oh, this looks like it needs calibrating. Oh, I'm smart.
But he only ends up doing that when like Mirai comes by though. Like,
Yeah, he sucks. I hate Kai. Irredeemable. Completely. But yeah, they like can't repair the ship right now. And I think right now, after this, we cut to Bright in the infirmary, and he like at this point formally asks Mirai to be the temporary commander.
Yeah.
Um,
He's like,
and
gives her a book to read or something.
yeah, here's the owner's manual for White Base. And she like super doesn't want to do it. She's like, oh, I don't think I can, but she really has no choice. I think next we cut to like the Federation base in like Eastern Europe or whatever.
Yes.
With Revel and the others.
Yeah, because Revel is like talking about like we have to send White Base more supplies, but let's also send them these extra Gundam part stuff.
The Power Up Mecha.
Power Up Mecha, that's what it's called. But it's interesting because they talk about like, they probably don't want to be guinea pigs anymore, but we can't really do experiments with regular military. Let's do it with our fake military, aka
yeah,
Base.
it super sucks.
Yeah,
they don't care. They're just gonna do it.
They're gonna do it, and luckily it works out for them. But it could have not. It could have just fucking exploded. I don't know. Is this when it cuts to like Makuve talking to General Aileron's like subordinate again? Because General Aileron, was standing there. Like we see him,
right? Yeah,
and that's when I was like, oh, this is Aileron's the mole, not his subordinate. I mean, his subordinate also, but
right, yeah,
they're both the mole.
Yeah, right. He says how like he like either Aileron or Judok doesn't really know enough about the Gundam's power up. But he just like knows it's gonna happen. He needs to like chill out and not move so he doesn't like get forced into any sort of position. And he just like orders like the first black character we see in the entire show, I believe.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait, is this the only black character? They're a fucking traitor? Great.
He like just orders him to take some goofs to attack the Medea transport before I can get to White Base. And then White Base gets a transmission saying, yeah, you'll get your repairs. We're going to send them on the way.
And you're going to get extra stuff. Nice.
Yeah, you're going to get some extra goodie bags. So we cut to Matilda flying with her Medeas. And then like combat begins. She's going to get attacked by... The goofs are on these like sort of hoverboard looking things.
Yeah, they're like skateboarding in the sky.
They're like surfboards.
And Matilda is like confused, kinda. She's like, they shouldn't know that we're doing this, but it's because there's a fucking traitor.
Yeah, she sends a command, an SOS just in case. And then White Base gets the SOS. So Mirai sends Amuro, Kai, and Hayato out to help. But then immediately she's like, oh, never mind. White Base is going to be defenseless. And this is when Sayla's like, okay, forget your plans. I'm going to do this.
Sayla's like, yeah, no, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. She alters it. She's like, only Amuro goes out in Core Fighter. The others are going to bring Gun Ken and the Gun Parry.
Yeah.
And the Gun Parry is going to bring the Gundam parts with it. So here's the thing. They say this is 140 kilometers away.
Yes.
They get there pretty dang quickly.
Well, they're like in a fast jet thing, right?
But Kai is just in the gun cannon. He just runs there in the robot.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know it's like time dilation works in sci-fi like this. It just things happen. It's just like and he even makes a comment. He's like, this thing's not that fast, But it's like, bro, you just ran 140 kilometers in like 10 minutes. You good?
Yeah, I guess I didn't like register because I also like don't know how long. 100 that I don't know how many kilometers that is. Like, I'm having a hard time judging how fast it would take like a car to get there.
In miles, it is like almost 90, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's like 80, 90 miles. So, yeah, it's a lot.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And he runs that. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It happens. But yeah, like, and it's, Sayla's like sort of altering Mirai's commands, but like, this is because she wants to help her. She's like trying to like help her figure out how to best lead the units. So it's not like her being insubordinate. It's her like being supportive, basically, and saying, like, okay, I'm just going to show you how to do this. And then, dear sweet Amuro, he's, like, flying over. He's, like, so horny. He wants to help Matilda so badly.
God. He's just all for making sure Matilda is safe.
It's like, yeah, okay, let's keep that energy out for everyone else on White Base, too, you know?
Because he's very specifically like, I gotta save Matilda and the supplies.
And yeah, I noticed that too. He says Matilda before anything else. It's like, Amuro, your priorities, my man.
Dude.
He gets to the battle. I love the goose finger guns.
Yes, they just like shooting them out and like piano, like they like are making like spread out like it is doing a piano, and they just like come out of the fingers. Like,
it's cool. Like the fingers are all hollow cannons. It's a really fun touch. But he like shows up and immediately just destroys a goof.
He goofs on the goof.
Oh, he goofs on him. I like that. And then we cut to White Base. Bright's still like in bed on his deathbed. He wants Mirai to actually do repairs and like do something for the ship and not just like sit there and read the owner's manual, which is like, you gave her the owner's manual, dude. You literally told her to read it in the last scene.
Yeah, I mean, I think the point, like, I think it's because he kind of wants her to realize, like, they can do something other than just, like, stand by and wait for, like, people to attack them. They can, like, try to keep repairing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of get it. Like, not everything's in the manual, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, you gotta learn some of it. It's like,
learn on the
like
job.
when you get a game, you read the manual and like, yeah, it tells you all the basics, but doesn't tell you all like the secret tips and tricks and stuff. You know, you got to actually play it. You got to call the Nintendo Power Hotline to sort of get how to properly run White Base, where all the secret units are stored.
You have to buy the extra Pokemon guide to Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yeah, you got to get that Prima guide. But then he sort of realizes, he's like, okay, I want to be strong and lead by example like Ryu does, and I want Mirai to sort of like take charge of her own actions. So it's fine. I'm going back to bed. Peace out.
I gotta get better, kind of thing.
Yeah. I will say, the whole time Bright was sick, I was never really worried for him, because it wasn't framed in a way that was like the way we see Bright in bed being sick trying to help people, and the way we see Ryu being sick trying to help people are like completely different.
Ryu had more like death flags.
As soon as Ryu got out of bed the first time, I was like, oh god.
He was
oh no.
kind of signaling like that this was probably his last episode, whereas like Bright just kind of is like there, but he's like being responsible and staying in bed.
He's like, I have to get better. Like, I'm just gonna like take it easy, do what I can. So yeah, he's like taking it safe, which is good, because like I can't have another person in White Base die.
I'm worried.
Oh, I'm worried too.
I feel like Sarah's gonna listen to this episode and be like,
and start cackling maniacally.
And then crying because it's sad.
I think we cut back to the battle now. The Xeon dudes realize, they're like, oh, there's a transport that like splits apart. We got to chase that, because that's where Gundam parts is. This is the gun parry they're talking about. But yeah, Kai shows up. He's like, kept you waiting, huh? As he blows up a goof hoverboard to save the day and keep the gun parry intact.
Yeah, it's like, good job, Kai. Thanks.
You did one good thing. Don't let it get to your head, kid.
He does. Spoilers.
He does. Oh yeah.
He lets it get to his head.
God, I hate this kid's got so much morgue.
I was like, okay, I mean, he's getting better at fighting. Like, I wasn't really, like, I was like, I don't really like him as a character, but I was still just like, I mean, whatever, he's there, he's gonna shoot, he's helping, it's whatever. But just, like, the fact that he was like, yeah, I did it. It's like, come on,
yeah,
dude.
it's like, go to hell.
Every single time I give you a little bit of leeway, you just...
Yeah, give an inch, take a mile.
Yeah.
So Matilda orders everyone to land because her Medeas are like shot to hell. They're
Yeah,
like, we have to land, we have to protect the power at Mecha because that's the most important thing right now.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, she specifically does it when like the power. I keep wanting to say power suit because
The Gundam power suit, just like Metroid.
the Gundam super suit.
Matilda, where is my super suit?
uh, so yeah, she's just like, we got to protect this. That's why I got, I thought it was this episode that like something bad was going to happen to Matilda, but I was wrong.
No, nothing bad happens to Matilda asterisk in this episode. But as it turns out, the power-up mecha, the G fighter, it's like a hoverboard.
It's a hoverboard so that like Gundam can fly just like the goofs on their hoverboards. Like, it's great. He could actually do mid-air combat without like having to jump and like fall and everything.
Yeah, right. It's like before he gets the hoverboard, like they roll it out. It looks like this cool like jet tank at first, but this is when it looks like Amuro might like straight up die because he's like fighting a goof.
Oh, yeah.
He's like getting like blasted by the heat rod over and over again.
Gundam has like a large gash in it. Like, I was like, if that was a person and not a robot, they would be bleeding out.
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
And he could not move because like
his leg circuits are toasted.
And then they're like, okay, well, we have to get this power. This G. What is it? G.
Power up mecha.
Power up mecha. The power up mecha to Amuro. He'll learn on the job. It's fine.
Yeah, he's a quick learner. He's good at these stuffs.
He'll be fine. He piloted the Gundam without any sort of training. He's fine. He'll be fine.
He's clearly good at this uncannily somehow.
He has shonen powers.
Yeah. We get cuts throughout this scene of like Bright contacting Mirai on the bridge, asking about Matilda, and she's like, "Oh, she's just 5 minutes away. It's fine. Go back to bed." She doesn't want to worry him.
She's kind of right. It doesn't take that much longer.
But like we get the sense that Mirai's getting better at commanding these units as this fight goes on, which I like to see.
I do too, yeah.
Yeah. I think so the battle sort of ends, they destroy the goofs.
Yeah, because obviously Amuro doesn't end up dying and he's just flying around. And it's cool.
Yeah, he's cool. He's doing 900s in the air. He's like, he carved out a vert ramp with his beam saber.
Yeah. He does an ollie.
He does a cool kickflip. Revil calls Mirai at White Base, and he tells her that, yeah, you did a great job commanding, and you protected White Base. I'm proud of you. And then Matilda shows up, and they start repairs. Wahoo! Let's go.
Let's go to the last episode.
Episode 24, Black TriStar.
Black TriStar. So doesn't it first start off at Cassilia's base on the moon? And she's just talking to her other subordinates, the people just below her, and they're like, we have to get robots. We have to get more mobile suits for Commander Char. And I'm like,
I miss Char. Where's my boy?
Where's Commander Char? Where's Char?
I want to see my little boy.
Except he's bigger than Amuro.
Yeah. But yeah, she's mad about these plans that she was proposed. She's like, nah, forget all that. We're gonna, what we need? Big robot.
We need more robots.
She does foreshadow something that I hope to see later on. I'm sure we will. But she says we need to give mobile suits to Char before he joins the Mad Angler Squadron.
Yeah,
and I don't know what that is. That sounds cool as hell, though. I can't wait to meet whatever the Mad Angler Squadron is.
I was like, okay, so they kind of got him back, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's joining something with a cool ass name. Nothing could go wrong.
No, it'll probably be fine. And then she also sends some DOMs to the TriStars to help Makuve.
Yeah. No subs allowed.
It seems that the TriStars are some sort of like special forces elite unit.
Yeah.
Because of course they are, because they have a cool name.
Yeah. Is there more than just the ones that end up on Earth? Are there like more? I like
More DOMs?
no more Black TriStar.
No, the TriStars are only like those
Three
three
of them.
dudes.
Okay, yeah, that's what Tri means.
There are more DOMs because like they mentioned that like Rambo Rao wanted some DOMs to fight with, but
Yeah, I
he
remember
wasn't
that.
given any. But yeah, I believe the TriStars are just like these three schmucks who are like the elite units or whatever.
LOL, they lose one of them.
Yeah, oops, get owned.
Guess they're by star now.
That's pretty funny. That's good.
Thank you.
So Amuro's like showing Matilda around White Base, taking her to Bright, showing her all the cool shortcuts. He's so horny about it.
He's like very insistent on showing her everything, Like it's a lot. But they also end up like going in the elevator and running into Fraubo. And the reason I even take note of this is because she's like, at some point she's just like, humph, and then Haru repeats her, and it's very cute. And she's like, humph, humph.
Yeah, and she kicks Hara, which sucks.
Yeah, because she was just like, humph, because Amuro like ignored her.
Amuro's with other girl.
Amuro,
That's no good.
yeah, but it's just very cute to hear Haru saying, humph.
I like Haru. I want to see more Haru. I know that there's a lot of different Harus in Gundam, so I feel like there will always be a Haru.
Yes.
Haru is dead. Long live Haru. So Matilda and Amuro pass by Kai and the lads who are like working on some guns, I think. Yeah. And Kai's like, oh, can I get a photo, please?
Yeah, because Kai was already, like, she overheard him, which, like, I was just like, no.
She overheard him and she's like, good luck getting a girlfriend. It's, like, very funny. She owns him. I like it.
Yeah. But it's just, like, a lot to, like, be like, oh, Kai likes her, so he's gonna take the risk anyway and get a picture with her. Like, he's just very persistent. In like a worse way than Amuro is.
Yeah, like here's the thing though. I'm kind of okay with him being so upfront about it because it means we get to see Matilda constantly reject him.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's funny. It's
yeah.
Honestly, and even him asking about the picture is funny because he's just like fucking embarrassed as shit, but he still goes for it.
He does the two like fingers pointing towards each other, like the sad crying face, like the tears welling up a face emoji. Can we please take a picture together? But I like the moment too because it's like all the boys and Amuro and Matilda, and like he sets a timer on the tripod and like runs in. The camera takes a photo, of course, as he's running into the photo, so he's like off to the side, like facing not towards the camera. It's a cute touch.
It's really good.
And then Amuro does the Breakfast Club, like, freeze frame jumping up thing with it because he's so happy.
He's so happy to have a picture with her. He isn't even next to her. He's just fucking thrilled.
He's like... It's a nice, innocent moment, you know?
It's very cute.
I like it. Because, again, he's 15. Like, that's great. Good for him.
Yeah.
What happened? So, at the Federation base... Revel learns of a big old Xeon warship landing on Earth, and he's like, okay, we gotta move up Odessa today. We gotta do it earlier. Elron and Judok are like, they start immediately Jordan Peele sweating. They're like, oh, you want to move it up, sir? So they have to like inform Makuve of this because they're the double agents.
Yeah, they're like, shit. Judok, are you fucking double agent? Are you triple agent? Are you a triple agent? Why did they know this?
Yeah, they're like they're not good at getting this information around. And I really like the scene that comes up after this when we cut back to Amuro and Matilda, and Amuro sort of asks her why she's in the Supply Corps.
Yeah.
Like why specifically that? And she says that it allows her to create things amid the destruction of war. And it's just like, wow, great. I like that.
I'm like, man, this is like the most characterization we've gotten from her.
Yeah, and then he says, well, I think you're a strong person. And she sort of like flicks him like on the forehead.
He's like, dang, she's like, you're cheeky. And he's like very embarrassed. He's like,
He's no match for her. I like that she's clearly like she's super aware that all the boys are like swooning over her, and she's just like, whatever, like these boys are being 15-year-olds. Like I'm just gonna, tell them off when I need to.
Yeah.
But what happens next? Then we see the TriStars.
Yeah, the TriStars, and this is like the first time we see the Doms too, right?
Yeah, yo, the Doms are cool as hell.
They're so cool. They're like this like grayish purple color, and they have like, they still have like the one eye that like the Goof and the Zaku's have, but it's like the head is completely different.
Yeah, the eyes can go up and down this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, these things look cool as hell. They hover over the ground. They don't run or they don't fly. They like hover like a couple feet off the ground. It's dope.
It's cool.
I guess like a couple meters since they're that big, but like.
Although there are some funny parts where this hovering, it just looks like that they're just like drag and drop.
Yeah. This translate image. It's a cost saving measure.
Yeah, no, it like works, but I only noticed one of them that made me laugh for some reason.
Yeah,
it was usually like pretty good though.
Yeah, because they have that little vibration to it that makes it look more natural.
Yeah.
They trip a sensor on the way to White Base, and like the alarm sound, they're all like, "Oh no!" Hayato mentions as they all get mobilized that the gun tank controls are in the cockpit now, so it doesn't need two operators anymore. Like he can both pilot and fly, or he can both pilot it and shoot at the same time.
Yeah, which like good because like gun cannon and Gundam were like way better because they only needed one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool.
It's nice that like they still use the other gun, like the gun tank and stuff.
I really appreciate that it's not only Gundam stealing the show. Like they always need all the support units to like properly fight. I appreciate it a lot.
Like Gundam's definitely the star, but they still need everyone else.
Yeah, you need your backup singers.
Need White Base to shoot stuff.
Yeah. So they can't send Gundam out yet because they're still checking the G armor. And who is going to be the G armor pilot but one Sayla?
Sayla gets a robot.
It's like I like this so much. I'm so happy for her.
Give Sayla a robot.
God, this is the step on the way. This is merely a stepping stone.
They better show her getting better, because like this is definitely like she's just like I don't know what I'm doing. But she's still kind of the only one other than that Job person.
Job, yeah.
Oh, it's like the biblical Job. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like the only one besides Job who has piloted Gundam stuff before. So they're like, okay, well, you need to do the thing because he's busy right now.
As Amuro gets into the G armor, Matilda blows him a kiss, and like we get a good 10 seconds of Amuro just like blush face emoji staring dead ahead in like the darkness of the cockpit. It's such a funny shot. He's like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god."
His eyes are so funny.
His eyes bug out. It's such a funny shot. I'm still laughing at it.
He's baby.
Look. If a woman I had the hots for blew me a kiss when I went to war, I'd be like, oh, damn. I'm going to kill so many of the bad guys in her honor.
God, I don't know. First of all, I don't know if I would be in a war.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're assuming a lot of things about this scenario.
True.
But yeah, they're checking. So as this is happening, Mirai's checking the engines in White Base, and they got a problem because the power won't increase. Like, they repaired everything, they added in some new parts, but like the engines not work good. And Sayla can't figure out the G-armor docking either, but they have no choice. They all got to launch anyway.
Yeah, they just kind of make her launch, even though she's still like looking at the manual.
Yeah, she's still reading the owner's manual, checking out the warranty on it. She's like, "Oh, this thing got heated seats. Cool." Damn, this thing got paddle shifters.
Big cup holders.
They put 7 cup holders in the G-armor. I could put all my big gulps in here that I got at the Space 7-Eleven.
I carried them with me. They've been on Earth with me for months now. The slushy has melted, but I can still use them.
It reminds me of the good old days before I was a child soldier.
God.
Oh, look, the glove compartment pops out to be a little tray that I can put my Space Wendy's on while I eat it. Hot damn. So they launch. As it turns out, the G-armor is like not maneuverable at all. It's basically like a big, fat, heavy jet. So it's fast, but it can't turn good.
Yeah. Which, you know, if they had kind of known that, they could have maybe taken that more into account, but they didn't.
Well, there's a reason it can't turn good that we find out later on that I didn't really pick up on until like we see it like change.
I did.
Oh, I didn't realize the Gundam was inside it the whole time.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay. I was like, wait, Gundam, yeah.
No, yeah, it's because it's like, yeah, well, we'll get there. But
I was like, I knew Gundam was in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So like Amuro's still trying to help her pilot it. Like he's like the gunner right now. It's sort of like the snow speeders in episode 5 of Star Wars, where like there's the pilots up front and the gunner's in the back, like shooting things. But I guess Amuro's technically in the middle, inside Gundam here. But like he can fire guns. I think both out of Gundam, like the Vulcan cannons on the head, and then like the missiles in the ship. So it's like it's cool.
Yeah, I guess the missiles in the ship were like better though. So he was like, I want to keep using these.
The TriStars like don't recognize what the G-armor is. They're like, what the hell is this new thing? Because they weren't able to receive intel from the traders yet, which is pretty cool. I like to see that.
Yes.
So let's see. We cut over back at the bridge. They still haven't really been able to figure out the engine troubles. Mirai has a bad feeling about all of this. And Matilda's like, Mirai, you seem like a chronic worker.
Worrier?
I typed, no, worker.
She says worrier.
Does she? Dyslexia strikes again.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, she is also a chronic worker, so you're correct, but I'm like pretty sure it's worrier because she's like making worried faces and stuff.
I mean, I'll defer to you because I have trouble reading things sometimes.
Oh no. Yeah.
Either works, but yeah, Matilda's like, yo, Mirai, you gotta chill out, girl.
She's right, but also...
She's right.
But also, I would also be worried in the middle of war.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Kai in a gun cannon calling himself a useless klutz gives me power. That's what my notes says.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, say that more, please. Look me in the eyes and tell me that you're useless.
Because he was just trying to, like, shoot one of the Dom, and he fucking missed. It's like, I'm so useless. I'm like, yes, you are.
Yeah, you are, bro. But they cut to the G-armor. They have to do the docking thing. Amuro's like, I believe in you, Sayla. This will be just fine. We got the computer to help us. And they do it, and it works just fine. And yeah, so like the G-armor splits apart and like reforms, and it's like I think a little bit smaller because Gundam's not in it anymore. And then Amuro gets to fight Dom versus Gundam.
Dom
is cool.
Gundam is a cool battle. This is when he's leaping on one of the Doms to fight the other Dom.
Yeah, so they do. Oh my god! So the TriStar leader. I don't know the TriStar leader's name, but the other two are Ortega and Mash.
It's Bangers and Mash.
The leader tells them to do a jet stream attack. And it's basically like they all like do a single file line, and like as one shoots and dies out of the way and Amuro dodges, there's another ready to shoot him. And if he dodges that, there's a third one ready to shoot him. But like Amuro is fast as hell in this Gundam. He's like jumping on their heads, like barely dodging missile shots. It's really, really cool. It's all in like slow motion.
Yes, and it has that cool, like, funky background again.
Yeah, I love it. It's like almost like tie-dye. It's just, oh god, the colors in this show are so good.
They are, because he's, like, red at some point. Like, Amuro, I think it might have been last episode when he was, like, dying.
Nearly, yeah, it was, yeah, no, I remember that was like a very, like, dark, scary red color.
Yeah, I was like, oh, is he gonna, like, explode? What's going on?
Oh, no. But as this is happening, Matilda gets in a Medea to head out and fight.
Because she wants to make sure that White Base can leave. Like, she's
Uh-huh.
like, oh, we're so close. We gotta give them backup. They're getting too close to White Base. And so she does.
She tries to straight up just like ram a Dom with the Medea, like nose first. Doesn't go so well.
It flips the Medea over and makes a big crater. It like punches it in the like. I guess it doesn't have a face, but I just think of
In the nose.
the front of of the ship as a face.
Yeah, no, well, it's called the nose, so it's basically there.
Yeah.
Yeah, as it turns out, Matilda beefs it. Rest in peace. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I don't know. I didn't really know what was happening at first, because it's barely, like, important in the fight. It's like, yeah, the Medea blows up, but, like, none of them are like, oh, shit, Matilda dies. It's just like, Amuro gets mad, and he destroys a Dom, and Seila's like, I couldn't do anything to help. But, like, I don't know, it's so much more downplayed than Ryu was, which I guess makes sense, but even Rambo Rao is more of, like, a thing. They make a big deal out of it, you know?
Yeah. What if she's not dead? No,
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure she is, because that's a big-ass crater, but, like, you know.
No, yeah, they salute her and her crew as they, like, yeah, no, she's dead. She dead, for real.
But it's still just like, damn, the only person that seems, like, full-on upset is Amuro. And, I mean, it kind of makes sense. But, I don't know. It was much less dramatic than anyone else's death so far, really, other than like background characters.
Yeah, yes, but like, yeah, the fight ends. They're sad about it. Revel like gets the news that they survived. They push the Doms back. Elron is mad that they survived the fight. They're like, those twerps shouldn't have been able to survive the Black Tri-Stars. And we see White Base in the morning flying away from the crater. They're all like on White Base outside, like all saluting,
Including Bright.
Including Bright. Yeah, he's fine now, I guess. He's not sweaty anymore, so that means he's fine.
He's like still seems a little out of it, but he's like leading the salute.
Yeah. And Amuro is like, Miss Matilda, and he like yells out off frame, Miss Matilda!
Matilda-san!
Like, it's just, poor Amuro. Literally every character he starts to like is just like, see ya.
Bye.
And like, yeah, Seila blames herself for this because she couldn't like pilot the G armor well, I guess.
I'm like, dude, you got thrown in there. You got thrown to the wolves.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like that's also setting up for a big thing of Seila gonna become really competent.
I hope
because
so.
like every time she gets to something, she's like, oh, I didn't do good enough, but she still does it, gets back in another thing. So it's like, I believe in her.
Yeah, me too.
I care, Seila.
I care. But I'm also like, oh, she's getting a bigger like role in like the robot fighting part, and also Char is coming back. So
I want to see Char. I can't wait.
I'm like, oh, they're gonna fucking meet in battle, and it's gonna be like,
brother.
brother.
Yeah, that's the episode. You like to see it.
You do like to see it.
So, you messaged me earlier in Discord asking, what's the deal with these DOMs?
Yes.
And, well, let me tell you. MS-09B DOM is what we're going to talk about today. Our little trivia segment. that I don't have a name for. I maybe had a name for it in the past, but that was the old me, and this is the new me.
Well, it's because it was like Robot of the Week, except what I do when I talk about a robot
Right.
is that.
Yeah, this is the heretofore unnamed segment previously titled Robot of the Week. So
The Max
the
Power.
MS-09 BDOM. Yeah, it's a type of mobile suit, which is what the MS stands for. I want to say Zaku's MS-02. So this is like several iterations past that. These things are a lot beefier looking than Zaku's. They have, like you said, they're like more purple and black. They have like a red cross-shaped like eye hole in the front where the like little purple pupil goes back and forth and up and down.
A little purple people eater.
A little purple pupil eater. Inside, like the flaring on the arms and the waist, and like the cool bell bottom flaring on the legs, there's like a nice bright red color. And like it has a lot of what the Zaku's can do, but like just more powerful guns, pretty much. Basically, the black story on them is that I'm sorry. Okay, so Zaku's are MS-06. This is MS-09. So this is like 3 iterations past Zaku 2s. Anyway, Zaku's are good in space, but under gravity they couldn't do so hot. So the sort of Xeon manufacturer of these mobile suits was like, okay, let's make something that is able to like sort of hover. So basically, what they use the data from the Goof, which is like, the sort of stepping stone after Zaku's into more powerful units. Yeah, so essentially the way that it works is that it has like in addition to its like Minovsky reactor, it has like chemical thrusters in its leggies to sort of like allow it to hover, which is how it can go so fast. I think, what is its ground speed? It says here 240 kilometers an hour.
Wow, that's real fast.
That is nearly 150 miles an hour.
Jesus.
So yeah, them fast. They're really cool though. A little bit of trivia. So let's see. A Dom appears. So okay, Capcom, maker of fighting games the world over. So their very first in-house published 3D fighting game, Star Gladiator, a Dom is like a scrapped, unplayable character in that game.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a different thing. It's called a Blodia, which is from a different Capcom robot fighting game. That's like their own design, but this is like they just use this design as a sort of placeholder, I guess. So it's like in a game that's not about Gundams, you can play as a Dom, which I thought was pretty cool. Also, Dom in Japanese is called Chachamaru.
What?
Yeah, his Japanese catchphrase is fun fun, which sort of translates to sniff sniff, which is a reference to like how sad he always looks.
Wait, Dom.
He comes with a tie-dye tee as his like default costume. And in Pocket Camp, he also his scarf because the sheets were different in that game.
I don't know why that took me so long. I was like, "What are you?" Oh.
Yeah, he was born March 18th. He's a Pisces. His American catchphrase is "Indeedaroo." He's a jock.
In case you don't realize this, listener, he's talking about Dom from Animal Crossing. I don't know why it took me so long to realize that. I was like crying. I was like, him? Wait. You motherfucker.
Yeah, well, I feel like this segment at the end of the episode is always going to turn into like Max's trick.
I got fooled.
Oh my god, so okay, this is just my personal anecdote. Dom was one of my starting villagers in New Horizons. I never got to see what his actual house looked like because he has like the default wooden furniture. Mm-hmm. But his house is cool. It's like a backyard. It has like the white picket fence with the sky and like a grass floor. He has a big rainbow like inflatable beanbag. He has some log stakes, like a hay bale, a water fountain, like an outdoor sort of like pizza oven, a lawnmower. Aww. He has like a cute little like backyard outdoor sort of thing going on.
I love that he's like a jock, but he's also like very gay.
Dom's great. He's one of my favorite villagers. Like, he's definitely my favorite of all the new ones.
Yeah, I think same.
Oh, damn it. I just realized I didn't get medicine for Sid, who's sick in my town today.
Rest in peace, Sid.
Oh, well. It's only 8:30. Nook is still open for another hour and a half. I can do it later. That's my segment.
Welcome to our podcast, Animal Pod Sting.
Okay.
But
Animal casting.
Animal casting. There you go. This is why you come up with the names of the podcasts.
Yeah, I'm good at making up names of things. I'm good at nothing else. My best performance in Pokemon League each season is just having fun making names. So, Morg, where can we find you on the internets if we so choose to do?
You can find me at Haunting the Morgue. That's Haunting the MORG on Twitter. And Tumblr. I mean, you can find me most places there, but I'm the most active on Twitter. And you can also find me on my other podcast, The Sonic Shuffle, where I learn about Sonic lore in a random and holistic way.
What's your latest foray into Sonic?
We did another episode of Sonic Underground, which is a bad show that I refuse to watch, and I make Dan tell me about it because I'm like, you know, the fact I even watched Sonic X is like a lot, but I'm like, I'm not gonna watch Underground, and he's like, I don't want you to. I think it's funnier if I try to explain it to you. So
yeah, Dan is the Marine getting like Molotovs and knives and bullets shot at him, protecting you, and you're the person asleep in the bed.
It's true.
Well, if you want to watch a good TV show, you can always go to twitter.com/potofgreedcast, where you can find Pot of Greed, the world's #1 and only Yu-Gi-Oh podcast sponsored by Kaiba Corp, a show that I do with some of my friends, including Dan of the aforementioned Sonic Shuffle. And if you want to find me, I'm on Twitter at MaxiBajillion. That's about it these days. And special thanks to our friends at noisespace.xy Zygarde.
XYZ. Zguard. Why isn't it Zguard? Should be Zguard.
XY Zekrom. There you can find other podcasts of all sorts of kinds and shapes and sizes. Go there, check them out. All of our friends podcasting. As we said, 2020 is the year of podcasting. Podcasting will never die. So, if you need more content, check it out.
Please. Please do. That's like
Please.
how I found Max.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, honestly, like all of my internet friends now are like through HKIP or Noisespace and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, Morg, what I dare ask is your robot of the week?
Oh, don't cringe like that. It's not that bad.
I was just doing a more dramatic build up to it.
Yet.
Yeah. Okay, well, I trust you.
Furbian is an American electronic robotic toy that was originally released by Tiger Electronics in 1998. It resembles a hamster or owl-like creature and went through a period of being a must-have toy following its holiday season until 2000. Over 40 million Furbies were sold during those 3 years. They still make them. They look a lot different now. They kind of have more like screens for eyes instead of the old kind of more mechanical eyes that I'm used to. They're also known, people make long versions of Furby, just called Long Furby.
I love Long Furby.
As do I. That's why I was like, I'm gonna talk about Furby. That's a robot.
I'm surprised to hear that it only started in 1998.
Yeah. Real 90s kids.
I feel like it's an earlier 90s thing. Like I always in my head I imagine Furby came out in like 92 or something.
I mean, to be fair, like at least for me, like the 90s ended when I was like 5, so I was still like pretty young, you know, like when they came out. So I was like 6,
yeah, I guess. I was 5 when it came out, so that checks out.
And I was like 1998. Yeah, I was like 4 when it came out, I guess.
Yeah.
So makes sense to me.
Yeah. Look, real 90s kids know Kirby. Furby. Real 90s kids also know Kirby.
True.
I think that will do it for this week.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. War is bad.
Wow. Cool robot.